There we are, an evening after work. I come back home and enjoy my dinner. I notice on my phone a string of messages. Who could that be? I've got nobody with an unknown number texting me. No. So I have my dinner and I remind myself of meeting a friend who's someone I value very much, who's an amazing person, very creative. And when I met him, it started online on Instagram. He pretended he liked my chocolate posts very kindly because I need followers on there and only like 12 posts every day, which is fine. 12 likes, I'm not moaning, it doesn't matter, I don't give a damn. Then we met. It was interesting to meet him. I've never met anybody like him. He was open-minded. I mean, most people think they are open-minded, but you've not met Lawrence. He's really open-minded. And he's so kind and he's so thoughtful. And he's very verbal. One thing he does that makes me a bit uncomfortable is he stares in the eyes a bit too long when speaking. And it's like, after a while, I wouldn't mind if he would lower his eyes or go somewhere else or, naturally. So that's the only thing which I'm not comfortable with that. But eventually I did tell him that he stares. And then I told him he has to look into people's eyes when he speaks. Otherwise, he feels there's no contact. But it's a little bit starey. I did tell him, but it's up to him, really. So I met him at his house and found out he had a wife. The wife welcomed me very nicely. I will call her Françoise for this purpose. And she was very beautiful, a bit older than me, pretty dress on. She offered me a gift, which I took and, doing my best to feel gratitude. To express gratitude, even though it wasn't something I used nor wanted in my life particularly. I don't like gifts. Please don't ever buy me any gifts. Unless I've said I wanted something, just don't do it. I hate them. Hate them! Gifts. Yes, I know. I must be having a parallel life where I have nothing at all and I'm just yearning for anybody to give me anything at all, a sign of love. Anyway, in this life, it's like the way it is. The afternoon was interesting because his wife was very talkative. She talked all the time and I felt rather embarrassed because even though he was just my friend, I was not interested in him in that manner. I thought, oh, well, it could be nice if I get on with her. We could be 3 friends and that would be really cool. Really nice because I've not got many lady friends. I seem to have more gentlemen friends who are gentlemen from birth, not the new ones who are gentlemen since 5 minutes. Like the ladies who are ladies since 5 minutes. So it was interesting to watch the dynamics because I'm pretty quiet as a person. If I'm invited at people's houses, which is very rare, because I keep myself away from people's houses, I really do. I thought that's strange. Her behavior is slightly insistent. Like, she wouldn't let him speak. When he started opening his mouth, she would interrupt him and take the conversation somewhere else. It was really strange. I thought, that's strange because if you're in a good relationship, that works well, and you've got a new beautiful house which you've built with your own dream ideas of what a house should be like, which she had done because that was her house, and it was quite grand, I must say, but not finished yet. You think the relationship, the 2 people would let each other talk and listen avidly to each other with love and kindness and respect. But there was none of that this afternoon. All I saw was her talking over him, as well as talking over me, but then I'm not a talkative type of person, unlike Lawrence, who's very, very talkative. But his wife is obviously more talkative than he is, and she's more dominant in that sense. We went upstairs, she showed me the house, We got to his bedroom, which was unfinished because I sleep separately. And there was a stain on the floor next to the bed as to where he would put his feet before climbing into bed. And she made a remark on that. She dug into him, saying he shouldn't have stains like this. And he defended himself, saying he sometimes puts body lotion. But the thing I must say is the floor was not a finished floor. It was a floor made of chipboard. You know, the ugly stuff glued together like pretend wood, which is waiting for a carpet or some proper wood to be laid on top of it. And I thought that was odd, her commenting on that when it was obviously a temporary floor. There's no need to be arsy to someone about that, particularly when you've got a guest and you're trying to appear the best. And she did several digs like that. Would you stop texting, please? She did several digs at him while showing me the house of things he was doing wrong and I can't exactly remember. I don't think I've written it down. But I thought that's a sign of passive aggressivity, or rather open aggressivity. And I know that because I used to do it. When I was a woman with a man, I used to do that, and the reason why I did it, not all the time, but I would moan if there was a load of dirty washing on the floor instead of it being in the basket, say. Which I wouldn't do all the time. Just the times I did it, it's because it was my home too, and why should it be so messy? But then it's their home too. Why should it be tidy? It's a compromise thing, isn't it? Anyway, I used to be like her, so I recognized in her behavior the aggressivity that I used to display when I was with a man. That wasn't good news. Eventually, well, that afternoon left and she offered me nice dinner and she didn't ask me very much about myself. She didn't seem interested in me somehow, which is quite a deal breaker for me as far as friendship is concerned. If the person's not interested in me, obviously they're only interested in themselves. Either that or they're extremely nervous. And it could be a bit of both for her, I don't know. It's fascinating, isn't it? Oh, people, let's talk about people and be like people. Instead of talking about spirituality. But that was it. They went. So then we became very good friends, and we were sharing conversations sometimes when his wife was around, and he was cooking with his phone on and I was cooking with my phone on. And you know, it got a little bit too much, even though his wife was involved and she knew we were talking lots and she found no problem with that. And there was no problem with that because I wasn't in love with him, and nor was he with me. We were just good friends and happy to have met like-minded persons in our lives. It got a bit too much. And over Christmas, when it is my busiest, most stressful period in chocolate world, and I was telling him I had a bellyache, I had gas, and I had a bit of a constipation recently, which I always have every so often. It's normal. I'm a tight person and I don't let go very easily, and constipation has always been one of my favorite things to hang on to. I told him that, and he replied in an email. One day I was a bit stressed. "You've got IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I knew it, and I told you before," or something like that. "I knew it when you said so and so, and you know, to get rid of it, you do this and that. You start doing a diet you follow this diet on this website." I did look. It's like they forbid everything. You can't bloody eat anything. You do this and that, and you'll be okay, you'll be good. I got on the spot. I thought, that's a fucking weird email. What's that about? I've not asked him any advice. And eventually, a few hours later or a day, I got angry. I thought, how dare he suggest that I might be sick? He's not even a doctor, and even if he was a doctor, I wouldn't believe him. How dare he tell me I've got IBS? He's suggesting I might want to develop IBS because he said it, because I'm very hypochondriac. If someone talks about a disease, that's it. The next day, the next week, I've got symptoms of that disease. I'm so empathetic, I just develop it out of fear, just to experience what it feels like. So anyway, I told him off. I said, I've had enough. I need time off. Just let's not speak for a while. You've pissed me off with your IBS bullshit. So we didn't speak over Christmas. In fact, he came to visit me on the 23rd. And just before Christmas, and I didn't want to see him, but I felt obliged to see him for the sake of our friendship. He wanted to bring me gifts. I said, I don't want your gifts, just keep them. I don't like gifts at all. Because the lady had offered me some gifts. Did I say that? I don't know, I've recorded this twice now. She'd offered me some things the day I'd visited. And I didn't like that. So eventually I said to Richard, look, it's really kind of her to offer me these things, but I don't use them. Oh yeah, it was tea bags. There were tea bags which smells like that awful tea. What's it called? That smoked black tea. I hate that smell so much. And there were tea bags that smelled like that. There were, I think, maybe green tea. So I sort of accepted at the time. Then I said, I don't want those gifts, really. Do you mind if I give them to the charity shop? He said, oh no, give them back to me. Françoise will use them. So I returned the gifts, thinking it was rude to return gifts, but because I haven't got that much money, despite having an amazing house, I thought, they might use it better. So that was it. Yes, the 23rd, he visited me. He wanted to give me something he had remade, a knife from my childhood that he had made a new handle on, which was amazing. But I said, no, don't bring your gifts. However, I did give him a box of chocolates because I had some left over, and I always do with my friends. I give them chocolate for Christmas. It doesn't cost me very much, and it makes them happy. But it didn't go well that day. I could remember what happened if I made an effort. Oh, I know what happened. Guess what? The 19th or the 20th. I'd gone to a concert in Leicester because a customer had given me a free ticket. It was one of these Christmas sing-song concerts. And being a silly girl, not a silly girl, I was being unresponsible, and I had only a light coat on me. I've had 3 or 4 jumpers, but only a light coat, instead of taking a huge coat and a hat and a scarf. And I had got a bit cold in the church, and the next day, I think it was, I started having pains in my knees, and that evening I had fever. So I had developed what we call the flu. By the way, I don't believe in the virus existence. So I don't know if my body was overly stressed from all the work. I think it was. And just a drop in temperature allowed something to happen in the cells. Anyway, it was a flu. 3 days later, when he visited, I was better, had got over the majority of the pains, the headache had gone, the fever had gone. There was still a tiny bit, not very much. And I said to him, I do have a cold, or flu, I think I might have said a flu. Please visit at your peril. If you want to not visit, I will be absolutely fine. But he insisted to visit me, and he did. And I wasn't coughing, and we had no contact. So even though the majority of people believe those things are contagious, I'm stopping believing in that now, unless it's an energetical resonance, which it could well be. Guess what I hear on... Well, we spoke a bit. Oh yeah, he had invited me for Christmas. I couldn't think of worse thing to do over Christmas and spend Christmas with a friend and his wife, whom I'm starting to notice very strange things about her. Some little signs of control and, well, also uncomfortable feelings. And I said, no, of course not. I don't want to come with you at Christmas. Thank you very much. There isn't that bollocks of opening presents, which I don't want, and all the things like that. No, thank you. I don't want to spend Christmas with anybody, really. It just pisses me off. Go away with your whatever Jesus resurrected again. I'm not interested. I'm interested in the 21st, following the seasons. That's about it. So Christmas happened. I was very happy in my house, even though I was still a bit tired because I've not had a flu for 10 years. I got a message from him saying, oh yeah, we went to the Indian restaurant with our neighbor and friend because Françoise feels obliged to spend Christmas with him because we've done such thing for a few years. Even though he's got a father, he won't spend Christmas with a dad, which... I don't know, to me that's a bit strange, Christmas dinner, but that's their issue really. So the neighbor was with them. The meal was a bit too heavy. Lawrence drank too many alcohol shots because the waitress kept bringing them some or something like that, and he's not used to drinking that much spirit. So the next day he said to me, yeah, it went okay, Christmas, but I felt a bit sick after the meal. And now, I've got COVID from you, he said in the message. Was it that day he said that? I think so. I don't know exactly if it's that day or a few days later because I wasn't answering his messages to his satisfaction. Oh yeah, because he said, oh no, I'm not feeling good, I can't get out of bed. I said, oh, that's a pity. Well, I've just had a flu, and I did get out of bed because I had work to do. And I forced myself to work and to carry on as normal. I didn't stay in bed all day long. I could have done because I was bloody achy and headache, and it was strong, very strong. And so I felt no pity for him. I thought, oh, you bloody wimp. So that's when he said, I caught COVID from you. And just like the IBS, this pissed me off so much. It's like, how fucking dare you tell me I've got COVID when I haven't even got it. I've got the flu. That's all I've got is a bloody flu, nothing else. And we talked about that because I'd got to explain to him that the whole thing, which I can't explain on here for this video being shut out, is... like that, like that. So he'd understood that it was all a load of whatever. And suddenly he comes up with it. I've got COVID! Well, so what? You won't get any sympathy from me, mate. I've had the flu and you're telling me it was COVID. I don't care. It's up to you, just look after yourself now. You know everything you can do. You can take colloidal silver, you can take herbal tea with lots of honey, ginger, lemon. Just keep doing that and you'll get over it. So that pissed me off. And but during that period, we fell out then. During that period, he got on really well and better with his wife than he did before he met me. So that was an improvement. I'd managed to better his relationship by helping him be more himself, because what I've not said on this video is that he agreed to work on himself, on his speech and his ways of behaving and his, not his appearance as much as his behavior, because I'm very interested in behavior, which is why I've got this channel, so I can observe myself. So that was it. I didn't hear from him then for good month or so. I didn't want to talk to him. How dare he tell me I got bloody flu from me? Well, I don't believe in contagion anyway, so that's up to him what he does with. Because also he had said it was a drink and he felt sick, so how can he say it's me? And I told him, and how dare he tell me I gave it to him when I already warned him I had it. Anyway, that was it. I thought to myself harshly, he's an idiot, I don't want anything to do with him, just let him do whatever. Then we became friends again. And then the speech changed. He started telling me more about certain things that were bothering him at home. Like we do, we've got problems, we tell our friends, don't we? And what he complained about, or rather explained about, looked to me very much like an abusive relationship. And from what I'd seen from her, I could well believe that, however much she is beautiful for her age, and wants to go and have some Botox instead of doing facial yoga, which is so much cheaper. I started being more direct with him. I started saying, look, if it is an abusive relationship, why don't you go and live with your father for a few days and see what happens? See how you feel. Learn about yourself away from the relationship. Learn about yourself and find yourself again, because he was very lost. Very lost in himself, no focus somehow. And after that, he started panicking more and more because his wife was being more and more disconcerting, abusive, shouting, and she was getting jealous of me. When there's no need to, because I'm not interested in him. But I'm interested in his well-being, and I could see this was just not very good. So there I am, putting my feet in the dish, thinking I'm helping someone who's intelligent, so he will follow what he feels right. He will either heal his relationship with his wife, get better within himself and become stronger, and stop accepting her bossing him around all the time. Or he will leave her. But that is up to him. It's not for me to suggest, other than why don't you have a few days holiday away and just get time for yourself, which is what I suggested. I never said you must leave her, which is what he seems to think I said, and what she seems to think I said as well. No, because if he's free, what will happen? She will get in a state, he will get upset, he will feel guilty, so he needs to stay there, he needs to finish the house. And it explained to me all that. No, actually, I want to stay and finish the house. I can't go away and leave her in all this mess. I care for her even though it's been 20 years and blah, blah, blah. I won't say anymore. So then something happened. He was meeting me in secret because there was no other way. He met me in secret once, or was it twice? During some time, we met for half an hour. We spoke. The second time we met for half an hour, there had been something, and I was not happy with him again. Was it because he sort of, I can't remember. Is it because he said he loved me or something? Suddenly he changed his tune. From being really good friends, suddenly he was in love with me. And I had to go at him for that. I said, I'm not interested to you to be in love with me. What should you be in love with me for? I'm not in love with you. I don't want anyone in my life. I certainly don't want you. But the harm was done. He was in love with me. And I did tell him, and listen to that advice. I said to him, you're in love with me because I do certain things which you would like to do or be in your life, which you have not developed. What you're seeing in me as this love thing, this wanting to be with me, is because of these things I have done, my creativity, which I don't think is that creative anyway, the talking to myself on video, which frankly isn't anything to envy. And I said to him, watch yourself. What is it you are missing in your life that I bring you, which you need to develop in order not to need to be in love with me, but just to be able to be friends with me? And he didn't understand that. I've understood it because I followed Joe Dispenza a long time and other authors, and I have learned that it's a very obvious scenario. Is Joe Dispenza particularly has a meditation or something, or a talk about before being in love with anybody, make a list of everything you want that person to be, that you want them to do, or say you could put on that list, I want them to be into meditation, I want them to be into yoga, I want them to be into psychic awareness, I want them to be into aliens, I want them to be into positive thinking, I want them to be into living in the present moment with as much joy as they can do, whatever it is. And then Joe Dispenza says, then you read that list and you become that person. And he says, only then you will attract in your life the person that is a true match for yourself. So I said that to Lawrence, but he didn't understand, unfortunately. So I said to him, you might need to be in love with me, pretendingly, because you need an escape from your life. I'm not providing you with this escape. I want nothing to do with it. It is up to you what you do with your life. You can heal your relationship. You can. You can just become stronger, as I said earlier. And become a boss yourself. Become as strong as she is. Anyway, that was it. I wasn't happy to see him. I was glad it was done. It's like I didn't see the person he was anymore. He was contradicting himself. He was lost. Really, home life was hard, and he'd had enough. It's quite understandable. But anyway, so today I got a string of messages, which was very exciting, and I wondered, what could they be saying? Ooh. Yes. And the string of email is very long, and I will do my best to read it slowly. In fact, I will show you, so you know I am not exaggerating. I will show you this. Nya, 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 nya. Lu, 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 lu. Lu, 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 lu. La, 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 la. Okay, this is it for the messages. It's not quite as long as my aunt's letter, so I'd say she's slacking there. Haha, you guess who it is? She. It's Françoise sending me her best wishes. I was really pleased. I thought, oh great, she wants to be friends. Oh, but the first message says, stay out fucking life. Ooh, swearing. Mm-hmm. Lawrence says all sorts about you. Oh no, I should read like she's written it. There's no commas, hardly any punctuation. Oh, there is a little bit. Which, how could I say this? Says all sorts about you, how you're controlling, and toxic with a big T. No commas, nothing. So how you're controlling and toxic. He's a two-faced bastard having a midlife crisis. Your, as in Y-O-U-R, as in your house, your car, you're a fucking meddling witch. Next message, I've seen the emails. Next message, I'm coming to see you now. Next message, I'll show you things Lawrence has written about you. Oh, naughty boy, what's it written about me? Probably that I had IBS. Next message, I'll tell you, you'll be fucking sorry you ever met us. Lawrence, a fucking liar, he flirts with any old hag. Ooh, she's calling me an old hag. That's a compliment. I quite like an old hag. Do you think any other wife would let him behave he was with you, and I'm the controlling one? Exclamation mark 3 times. Fucking delusional, both of you. Next, 1812. 20 years and I know him. You know nothing. Sneaking around behind my back, sending emails. Is that part of your be a better person therapy bullshit? If you'd heard the way Richard spoke about you today. I've done it again, haven't I? You'd be shocked. You've known Lawrence 5 fucking minutes. Fuck all you know. Oh, fuck all you know. He told me today how you've been trying to control him, to leave me and behave certain ways towards me. You know, falling out with people is very controlling. I know falling out with people is very controlling. Well, she must know something about it then. I didn't know about that. Maybe you should look at yourself. I do all the time. Look at me looking at myself now. Hello. Funny how you didn't want me in your friendship right at the beginning. That's not true. We were in the friendship of each other and we were talking to each other on the phone. But I didn't really feel attracted to you like I would with my other lady friends, and that's just the way it is, isn't it? Why don't you try fuck up someone else's marriage? Any takers? Yes, any takers, send me an email, I'll fuck up your marriage. Where are we there? Blah, blah, blah. See how you get on. I'm sure I'll get on really well with fucking up anybody's marriage. I supported H when you fell out with him. Twice now, and I was livid for treating him so badly. I should have told you to fuck off then. Do us both a favor, take your toxic fucked up personality somewhere else. Leave two people's lives alone. Two people, fuck all about it, their relationship. Fuck all about it, their relationship. That doesn't quite make sense. Are you too cowardly to talk to me? Comma, question mark twice. Hiding behind boring as fuck narcissistic videos that are about as clear thinking as mud. That's a compliment. That means my video was so artistic. Talking to myself. Commenting to each other on your secret video channel. Pathetic, immature, and basically a nasty, destructive bitch. It is true that her husband did a video channel on YouTube to post his own videos, and we used to comment on there because we comment on each other's videos. I won't give up on trying to talk to you. I think it's time you heard my side. Really, there is very much two sides to every story in a relationship of 20 years. There is a two side in a story in any relationship, however long it's been going for. Richard's friends, oh for fuck's sake, okay, Richard, alright, it's Richard. Richard's friend of 40 years have told they are worried about his personality changing since he met you, and they are right. When you fell out with Lawrence at Christmas, he was like a different person, and he came to me and he was so loving and caring and stable. Well, I wish it stayed like that, I wish he did. I want you to be happy, mate. You are a very toxic, bad influence on him. No, things aren't perfect, but 20 years of loving someone and knowing everything about them means you know a very different person to me. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're fucking no one to us. Fuck off and leave us both alone. Okay, I've got the message, and I leave you alone. I don't want anything to do, nor with you, nor with him. Be peaceful. Be in peace, my little friend. Be in peace. I don't want anything to do with you. Why don't you come see me and Richard if you're such good friends? Oops. Let's all talk it out together, cause he ain't leaving me anytime soon. He's just venting. I've heard everything, the videos, emails, BTW. Lawrence has told me all your problems. Lawrence, you talk too much. I talk too much, but you talk too much. Can't you keep anything confidential? Do you have to repeat everything to your wife? About me as well. It's none of her business, is it? Particularly, it's coming back to bite your bum and mine. Not that it's biting any bum. Okay. He thinks, he's told me about all your problems. He thinks you're stupid not having your operation. And he said, your stupid thinking, the you'll cure yourself bet, with a big B, capital B, bet he wouldn't say that in your silly digital comments. Why don't you come see us? You're very welcome here. Yes, I think so. After all this swearing, you want me to come here? Yes, I don't think so. Just like you were when I invited you for lunch and gave you a present, you very passive-aggressively returned. Your curtains are ugly as fuck, BTW. Now, I must comment on the curtains. Lawrence can't sleep. He has no curtains in his bedroom, or he had, but they were very thin, flimsy ones. So I went, because he can't do things for himself, he's got to have the woman do it for him, or the friends. Unfortunately, he's a bit like that. I went to the charity shop and found some curtains that were perfect sized. They were sort of a bit rubberized, and they were total blackout curtains. They cost me £5, which I granted him the gift of that £5. No, actually they were £50. I never told him that, but they were worth it. They were from the nice rider shop in Kington. And he was really pleased having curtains that blocked the light so he could sleep slightly better. But his sleep was still disrupted. So now we are talking about the curtains. Your curtains are ugly as fuck, by the way. Not that I chose them, they just happened to be the right type of curtains. The colours were very bright, with a few sort of standing flowers, not many of them, sort of pretty modern art type thing. Your taste is awful. Oh, which Lawrence doesn't want the shitty bag you made for him either. The one in the video it took me an hour to make. We'll be sending the curtains back. Oh, I'm glad Richard and you will be sending the curtains back. I can't do bloody discreet, can I? I'll be posting all this on your YouTube, just in case you've blocked me. Lawrence just told me you've fallen out with him because you won't leave me. I won't leave her? What's she on about there? What's going on? You won't leave me? I've not had any contact with her. I don't know what she means. Is this true? Trying to get to be your little puppet backfire, hasn't it? Backfired. Trying to get to be your little puppet backfired. I think she means he was my puppet. He wasn't my puppet, he was my friend. And he was learning about himself, like we do. He told me you tortured your ex. My ex twice round. Like, my ex in a certain few years ago. Not the last ex, the ex before that. So, Lawrence just told me, what? You tortured him, the ex, my ex. And he's a broken man because of you, and he doesn't want to end up, Lawrence doesn't want to end up like your ex, like my ex. So do him a favor, leave him the fuck alone. Oh. I tortured someone? Wow. I fell out with him, yes. Repeatedly, yes. And I split up with him because I couldn't be with him anymore, yes. I tortured him? Not physically. Mentally? Not that I know of. And I might have to ask the person concerned, because we spoke the other day, about whether I tortured him. But he is the most happy I have seen him in months. And he's having a lovely time. So for him to be a broken man, maybe he misses the love he thought he had. Maybe, I don't know. Interesting. And just in case, that's 2103. Oh, that's the last message now. And just in case you think you're something special, which judging by your videos you do, bleh, bleh. There's some emojis there. I love emojis. They look so shit. He's also messaging another lady, very similar things to you. A Polish lady, Camilla. Oh dear, he's got another mistress. Oh dear. Ooh. Is it a mistress or is it a friend? Is it because he needs someone else in his life? Oh dear. Oh, I need to do some facial yoga. There's the muscles are sagging. Hopefully, I'll see you at your next market and we can catch up properly. Ooh, I can't wait. Come and see me, mate. Yeah? I'd be very happy to see you. Yes, do come, please. I'll tell you everything you want to hear. I'll tell you how I don't want your man, how you can keep him, how you're an abusive person, unfortunately narcissistic, and how I'm not interested in being part of your life. Really not. And as for your husband, I'm sorry he is with you, but that's his path. He's chosen you. He's chosen you for that long. And it's his life, isn't it? If you want to make someone miserable and you want them to stay with you because they pay your bills and they do all the work in the house because the house needs finishing and he's doing all that for free for you, and you're worried because you might have to find a job and work for yourself because he won't be there to pay your bills, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry your love for him is so strong that you can insult him like this, like you've done in those texts, which is such proof of love. It's unbelievable. I don't know anything about love, but it seems like you don't know very much either, without being patronizing. So I suggest, my little lady who loves my videos, I'm so glad to have another fan who hates me. Thank you for hating me. I have nothing much to say other than I'm really surprised you're texting me now because I've got nothing to do with your man. It's your issues. I'm not interested anymore. It's your story now. Go and hassle him instead of hassling whoever. And while you're at it, why don't you try to go to do some psychotherapy with a professional? Because if you can't talk to yourself on video like I do, you obviously need professional help. And if I could afford professional help, I would definitely get it. And I would keep talking to myself on videos, which is what I do best. And I thank you for offering me a very exciting opportunity to make this video. So my 2 subscribers, which have now become 309 and are reducing every day because they find the content ever so boring, hopefully, are going to enjoy hearing your words. And it's a shame I can't show them the spelling because that's even more fun. It's a shame you don't take more time. You're obviously in a space where you feel furious. I would say that from your text. You're slightly furious, aren't you? Yeah, that's it. I just wish you well. I just will repeat, you're very beautiful. Just don't go for the Botox because it looks fake. Just accept yourself as who you are. And perhaps try to work on yourself and your past trauma because that's obviously bothering you a lot. And look into narcissistic traits. You're displaying quite a few of them, and it's not great. I've seen today a photo by, is it Billy Carson? It was a video on toxic relationships, oddly, just a coincidence. And he showed us a brain scan of a narcissistic person and a normal person, in brackets. The narcissistic person has large amounts of black, disconnected, no blood going in those areas in their brain. So there is actually something physical with narcissism. There's some lack of light in there. A normal person has a lot more light on the top cortex underneath. It's lit up most places. So it's interesting. And I think I might have narcissistic traits from my inability to connect with people truly and from this fascination I've got to learn about myself. I might be a bit narcissistic, so it is best I stay alone. I wouldn't want anybody to suffer from my narcissistic traits. So I suggest you might want to look at narcissistic traits and see whether they apply to you. And do truly work on yourself. With all the unconditional love that I am not able to feel, I still send it to you, and I wish you the best. And in the meantime, it's 9:20 to 10. Oh, it's time to go to bed. Oh. That was exciting, wasn't it?